Let's discuss the Spanish Inquisition. Long rumored to be a period of oppression, persecution, unfair acts, and likewise a genocide, or alternately a act against immigrants and in an anti-Semitic manner, a pogrom of Muslims and Jews. Well, let's look at our modern system here in Massachusetts, a Catholic state. Frankish inquisitors, often slurred by homosexuals, Nazis, Muslims, and domestic terrorists, various codes, Nazi being European, Muslim being Middle Eastern, and homegrown terrorists being American, are terms for the Mafia, the mob, the gay rights sanction groups inside region. The point of the Spanish Inquisition is to reform those inside homosexual culture so they can return to family and, of course, value and debt paid into the community for the prolongment of all society, even if performing a paltry free task such as these videos. So let's look at the Frankish Inquisitor in Massachusetts with our Catholic Church. If you move into a therapeutic unit, which means you want to snitch on somebody of your free will, not being forcibly committed, that's a mob act, and you've been removed of your debts, that means you went broke, you no longer have to pay into your system, you are open to being informed upon by others in the same class of strategy. If you accept movement into a reformatory, that means a low-income housing block, you have to place a badge upon a member of the housing block. That is your outside contact to establish a ward, such as the Spanish wards that later moved back to Palestine through Moors, Muslims, and Jews, endowed into a more Christian system where the mixing of alcohol and marijuana was allowed, the defense of Christ in view of the Roman Catholic Church, and of course Yemen and the Philistines made illegal by the Jews the consumption of alcohol and marijuana at the same time. It made hard labor easier, it made mental work far more simple, multitasking, combination, and natural trait. Even today we see road safety from the multitask term of simultaneous mental and physical action taught by athletics, gymnasium classes, and even walking about to class at college or high school. So once you've got your badge, they have to make contact with a Catholic inquisitor. That is a Catholic under Anglican ethics, a British Hamas. And if you support your badge and they've made contact with your future ward boss, your representative of ward, you can gain political power. We can see this in the movie Far and Away, starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. We see this in the historical situation of Boss Tweed, machine politics, and of course our modern situation after Hurricane Katrina, the New Orleans Police Services. It starts with the grandchild of the ward boss becoming a mayor. However, if with the inquisitor or the inquisitor's family you've crossed into a five fingers, a mafia organization, a queer movement, in which case this will fail under auspice of police from an originating church unit of the inquisitor, wherever they were baptized and confirmed. Baptism being the term of future political connections observing the child to the last sacrament necessary, confirmation. You now have access to an exorcism, a pro bono defense attorney acting on behalf of state to fight corruption. So going deeper into this, we have the actual protocol. Once you've made contact with your badge, you will go through a sting. That's a descent into God. G-O-D. No dash, that's a feces mung. Someone who fears your power as a papist and seeks to betray you. G-O-D. No Yahweh, Garak's a thief, we cannot support Jehovah, any of it. So, you have to have a near survival catastrophe to determine who has betrayed your ward, where your prisoners are trapped, you're impoverished, out of debt, inside therapeutic informant status run by the church, hopefully, otherwise you've got a duodecim, a pedophile's ward, which means Five Fingers Bill is already in charge. There's already police corruption. So you have to trail back to whomever you contacted and bring marijuana and share alcohol and marijuana with them, your badge. They will approach you having studied you with a hand strike, a male or female hand striking you, at which point you have to respond to the proper hand gesture at a singular level of force. One blow to the area of the body they're protecting. That is why they've been placed in that ward. Each member of these ward administrators have a police function because of a physical ailment or a mental ailment or a behavior or activity. And then once they indicate what happened, you have to indicate your method of individual observation of noting it. Then the word gets out inside the ward what the Inquisitors have done to all of you, at which point they can reform themselves. Their children become police officers in town, county, and parish, and eventually they have a crop of politicians, and within a few centuries they'll go back to their homelands. In the historical case of the Spanish Inquisition, Palestine, for the Ottomans, but there are other situations, such as the New York Fenian Uprising raiding Canada from the entire United States for Irish independence from Britain. And of course, far and away, the film's case of indentured English establishing their own livelihoods on the frontier.